Hello everyone. The heat and dust which has been created by the greatest and the biggest e-commerce deal in the world, where Walmart took over the major stakes in Flipkart, 77% of the stakes by investing 1,08,000 crore rupees. That heat and dust is still on in the Indian market. You all know that. Those who are in the business environment, those who are in the entrepreneurial mindset, they're all looking at and they're all thinking about and they're discussing about this deal, which is the biggest ever deal which has happened in the e-commerce space in the world. I'm not going to explain about how it happened and why it happened and all those things. I just wanted to take your attention to something which is connected with that. You know, when Flipkart started in 2008-2009 period, when Sachin Bansal and Bini Bansal co-founded this company, their first investor, Mr. Ashish Gupta, he was the first investor. He was an angel investor who gave them 10 lakh rupees. Do you know what happened to those 10 lakh rupees? When Walmart brought in 1,08,000 rupees to take over 77% stake in Flipkart, Mr. Ashish Gupta sell off his shares, which is very minuscule, but he got 135 crore rupees. 10 lakh rupees of investment 9 years back. Right now it is 135 crore rupees. Don't think that this is just one story in India. It is one among many stories in the Indian growth market. The India growth story, if you look at it, I can show you hundreds of such stories. Ganesh and Meena, one couple who are one of the celebrated serial investors right now in India. They invested 50 lakh rupees in a startup by name Tutor Vista in the year 2006. Do you know what happened to that company? In 2011, Pearson, a multinational, took over that company for 1,000 crores. 50 lakh to 1,000 crores. And Ganesh and Meena right now has invested in 23 startups. And their accumulated wealth, if you look at it, that is the kind of investment they have put in this 23 startups, and the current valuation of that investment, including that of Big Basket, could be huge, literally huge. Why I'm talking about this is because when we think about investments, Indians generally think about land, the real estate, as the greatest investment. But you have to understand one thing, that India is growing through a big, huge, massive upturn. In the next coming 15 to 20 years, India is going to be one among the top 3 economies in the world, period. If Indian economy has to reach that level in the next 10 to 15 years or 15 to 20 years, one thing is for sure, it will happen only by enhancing the capital value of all the corporates in this country. That means the capital market is going to explosively grow in this country. So if you're an investor with 5 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees or 10 crore rupees, you have to have a serious look at what's going on in India. The India growth story. It's very important. But most of the time what happens, I have come across so many investors, and most of them, they invest on land thinking that real estate is the safest bet. But when you're investing for returns. Higher returns will come only from if you are ready to take a higher level of risk. So the safest return is not the right thing what you should be looking at right now at this point of time in this country. You should understand something called capital mechanism, the enhancement of capital value of companies. I know that there are people who invest in companies, but they invest with a kind of intention to get a return on investments. Most of the time they invest into company asking the promoter, from when onwards I can get some return from this. You know, what kind of percentage return I can get. No, I'm not talking about that kind of business. I'm talking about the investments which is purely into capital, and you should be looking at only the value enhancement of the investment you have put into the capital. That means Ashish Gupta has invested 10 lakh rupees into Flipkart 9 years back. He believed in the concept, he had a faith in the promoters, and he decided that okay, I'm going to take a risk by giving 10 lakh rupees to these boys. And he was not investing with an intention to get a 10% or 15% or 20% return every month. That is the problem with most of the investors. He just invested the money and waited that money to multiply. He knew that there will be rounds of investments happening in this company in the future. If you want to invest considering the capital mechanism, that is capital enhancement, the enhancement of the money, the multiplication of the investment I'm making in a company, you should be looking at those startups or initial growth companies which has got a very clear-cut roadmap to IPO. IPO means initial public offer. Don't invest on a company which is just telling you that, invest 50 lakhs and I'll give you 10% or 20% return every month. That's not the kind of investment I am talking about. I am talking about investments which can multiply. The capital can multiply over a period of time. The capital will multiply only when there is series of funding happens inside the company. You must have invested in the initial stage. Later on the next level, somebody else come in as an investor. Third stage, there may be a venture capitalist coming in. Fourth stage, there may be a private equity coming in. Every round of funding actually enhances the value of the company. Do you know in Flipkart, I believe there must have been about 16 rounds of funding which happened before Walmart came in and took over 77% stake. So every round of funding actually enhances the capital value. That's where your investments, your money which you have put in also multiplies in many folds. So what I want to recommend to all of you those who are planning to invest 10 lakh or 5 lakh or 5 crores or 20 crores, I always recommend you to look at this space. Not just look at the real estate, not just look at the landed properties or whatever. Yes, of course, those are also good, but at the same time, this is the area on which you're going to multiply your wealth. The advantage with this kind of investment is that suppose if you have invested 2 crore rupees on a piece of land, 5 years down the line, that 2 crore rupees must have got enhanced to 4 crores. You must be able to sell that land for 4 crores. That's okay. You have gained 2 crores. Nobody else has made any victory, any success in that. But just imagine that same 2 crores, you have invested into 10 companies, 20 lakh each. And out of which, suppose 2 or 3 companies really became successful. And in 5 years' time, suppose these 2 or 3 companies are giving you a return which is maybe 10 times of what you have invested. Here, you are making a huge multiplication like Ashish Gupta has done from 10 lakh to 135 crores in 9 years. So you are going to make that kind of a multiple. Ashish Gupta has made investments in many startups. Some startups failed, some startups really became successful. But just imagine, just one investment which has moved from 10 lakh to 135 crores is more than enough to cover whatever silly losses he must have incurred in a few startups. So the same way, when you are investing in 10 companies, 2 or 3 may become a big success and you may get in huge multiples. Here the advantage is that you are not the one person who is going to make money. These entrepreneurs who started these ventures, they are also becoming millionaires. And moreover, these are all providing employment opportunities to people. In fact, by investing into this space, what's happening is that you are providing a huge opportunity for wealth distribution. You're helping the wealth to get distributed among a lot of people. So this is an ideal thing you should be looking for, not just from your own wealth multiplication thinking or multiplication plan, but thinking about the future of the country, future of the startup ecosystem in this country, because this country will grow when the startups grow, when the entrepreneurial spirit grows, and you are going to contribute to that. Just imagine, you have invested in 10 companies and out of which 2 or 3 are actually on the track to an IPO, initial public offer. They are going to get listed, 2 or 3. And when they got listed and they create a huge wealth, they create a massive wealth from the market. That point of time, the country will remember, the media will remember you as the first investor in those IPO companies. This is a great acknowledgement you can get, which you cannot get in any other investment, any other sort of investment. So it is not just money, it's a sense of pride. You have contributed to the growth of few corporates, you have contributed to the nation's economy. So when you think about investments, I think you have to evaluate these things. I'm not talking about investing your money into someone who approached you with an idea of, sir, I'm starting a new soap company, why don't you invest 20 lakhs and I can give you good returns. I am talking about those startups and those companies who are in the initial stages, which have got a great business model, which have got a great value proposition. They are professionally managed, and they have got good consultants and good coaches mentors to monitor and manage them to the next level. Those kind of entities, those kind of startups, those kinds of companies which are in the initial phases, that is where you need to look at and invest. You need professional help for this. Our consulting firm, Brahma Consulting, which has been operational for the last 10 years, in the last 1 year, we have ventured into this space to help many of our clients to scale up their business through funding by bringing in private equity and venture capital funding. And in fact, once we got into this space, we realized that a lot of people are looking for this kind of support. not just the entrepreneurs who are having great ideas, but at the same time people who are having money who wanted to identify the right kind of business to invest in. So welcome to this wonderful world which can actually create huge wealth and make you the next billionaire in this country. See you next time. Bye.